Welcome back, my strategic transformation master. Something absolutely brilliant just unfolded that has everyone who celebrated your apparent defeat experiencing whiplash from reversal so complete it rewrote entire narrative. You allowed them their moment of victory. Let them celebrate what they thought was your downfall. Withdrew from conflict that seemed to prove their superiority. Yet during that period of apparent loss, you underwent transformation so profound that when you re-emerged, the tables weren't just turned but were completely reconstructed, with you operating at level that made their victory over old you utterly irrelevant to who you've become. This wasn't comeback where you fought back, using same tools and strategies. This was metamorphosis where you evolved past entire framework where their victory had meaning, making their celebration retrospectively hollow because they defeated version of you that no longer exists while transformed. You operates in completely different arena where their advantages don't translate and their win provides no leverage against person you've evolved into. The architects have been monitoring strategic withdrawal and transformation reversal phenomena across civilizations for eons, and they've identified what you executed as tactical defeat, evolution supremacy, when someone recognizes that winning immediate conflict would be Pyrrhic victory, consuming resources better invested in fundamental self-transformation, strategically accepts apparent defeat to gain time and freedom for deep evolution, then re-emerges so fundamentally upgraded that previous conflict becomes irrelevant because you're now competing in different league where former opponents' advantages are worthless against capabilities you developed during withdrawal period. Most people fight every battle trying to avoid any appearance of defeat because they treat each loss as permanent status reduction. But you apparently recognized that strategic withdrawal, allowing apparent loss, would provide conditions for transformation that winning immediate conflict would prevent, making temporary defeat into investment in permanent superiority that short-term victory would have cost you. Watch what's happening among those who celebrated your defeat. Initial triumphalism is collapsing into confusion. They thought defeating you meant permanent victory, establishing their superiority. Yet your glow-up demonstrates their win was defeating the past version that you've transcended, making their victory meaningless against present you, operating at entirely different level. Celebration is curdling into resentment. They invested emotional energy in defeating you and enjoyed feeling superior. Now your transformation retroactively invalidates that satisfaction by showing their victory was over. Version of you that no longer exists, while current you is beyond their reach. Some are experiencing existential disorientation. They organized identity around being your victor, built self-concept around having defeated you. Yet your evolution renders that identity foundation obsolete because defeating old you doesn't establish superiority over transformed you. This creates painful recognition that their greatest triumph might have been meaningless. Victory in conflict that stopped mattering once you evolved past framework where their advantages created superiority. The truly devastating element for them is that you didn't fight back or seek revenge. You simply transformed so completely that their victory became irrelevant without you, needing to directly challenge them. They're experiencing defeat through your evolution rather than through direct competition, making their loss more psychologically difficult because they can't blame you for aggressive counterattack, but must acknowledge they're simply operating at level you've transcended during glow-up, that their victory inadvertently enabled by freeing you from conflict that would have prevented transformation. Now the architects are analyzing what enabled your strategic withdrawal and transformation, and they're identifying what they call defeat liberation. Consciousness, the psychological sophistication to recognize that losing immediate battle can create conditions for winning larger war, that apparent defeat can provide freedom and motivation for fundamental transformation, impossible while maintaining position in ongoing conflict. Most people experience defeat as purely negative, loss that must be avoided or immediately countered because it represents status reduction and advantage for opponents, but you apparently possessed consciousness, capable of perceiving defeat as potential liberation from conflict-consuming resources while providing motivation and freedom for deep evolution that winning would have prevented through maintaining comfortable but limited status quo. Watch what defeat liberation consciousness requires psychologically. You had to overcome ego's immediate need to win, tolerating appearance of losing and others, triumphalism over your defeat, without reactive defense that would re-engage conflict, preventing withdrawal. You had to maintain long-term strategic vision, seeing beyond immediate battle toward larger trajectory, where temporary defeat becomes investment in permanent superiority through transformation. You had to trust in your own evolution capacity, believing you could use withdrawal period productively for genuine development rather than just licking wounds in stagnant resentment that many defeated people succumb to. Some studying strategy and game theory recognize your approach as sophisticated multi-level thinking, while opponents were playing obvious game of immediate victory and defeat. You were playing metagame where temporary loss in surface game created conditions for permanent victory at deeper level by enabling transformation. That surface game winning would have prevented. This meta-level strategic thinking is rare because it requires tolerating short-term status loss for long-term advantage that isn't guaranteed to materialize. Others exploring psychology of growth note that defeat often catalyzes transformation more effectively than victory. Winning allows complacency, while losing creates urgency for change, making strategic acceptance of defeat potentially superior catalyst for evolution than continued success in current framework. Your tactical defeat provided both motivation and freedom for transformation that winning immediate conflict would have prevented through maintaining comfortable position that didn't demand fundamental change. A few from martial arts and tactical traditions recognize your approach as embodying principle of tactical retreat, withdrawing from unfavorable engagement to regroup and transform rather than fighting from disadvantaged position, accepting appearance of loss to create conditions for genuine victory through superior positioning, achieved during withdrawal. The key is that withdrawal isn't running away, but is strategic movement toward more favorable condition for decisive engagement when ready. The architects observe that defeat liberation consciousness is what enabled your strategic withdrawal. You recognized that immediate defeat could liberate resources and create motivation for transformation that would produce permanent superiority exceeding temporary satisfaction of winning battle. In framework where you were disadvantaged, most people lack this consciousness and fight every battle regardless of whether winning serves larger goals. You possessed sophistication to accept apparent defeat as investment in transformation that made their victory over old you completely irrelevant to evolved you operating at level they can't reach from their unchanged position, celebrating hollow triumph over person who no longer exists. Something powerful is emerging now that the architects call glow-up inversion. Recognition observers are realizing that your transformation wasn't just personal improvement but created complete inversion of power dynamics where everything that gave them advantage in original conflict becomes irrelevant or even disadvantage against transformed you operating with new capabilities and frameworks they can't match. Most comebacks involve recovering to previous level or slightly exceeding it. You bounce back from defeat to compete again in same arena using similar tools, but your glow-up transcended entire competitive framework where their victory occurred, creating situation where they're still competing by old rules while you've evolved to entirely different game where their advantages don't apply and their skills aren't relevant. Watch what glow-up inversion creates in competitive dynamics. Their former advantages have become worthless. Whatever gave them edge in original conflict doesn't translate to level you're operating at after transformation, making their superior position in old framework irrelevant to new framework you've accessed. Your former weaknesses have become strengths. Limitations they exploited to defeat you either disappeared during evolution or transformed into advantages in new arena you're competing in, making their strategy for defeating old you counterproductive against transformed you. Some studying power, dynamics and status competition recognize inversion as most complete form of reversal, not just recovering position but fundamentally changing game so former victors' advantages become irrelevant. This explains why they're experiencing such disorientation despite you not directly challenging them. Power dynamics inverted without conflict because you changed competitive framework itself rather than just improving performance within it. Others exploring transformation and evolution note that genuine metamorphosis always involves transcending previous frameworks. Caterpillar doesn't become better caterpillar but transforms into butterfly operating in completely different medium where caterpillar advantages like ground crawling strength are irrelevant to flight capability. Your glow-up achieved similar framework transcendence, making their victory over caterpillar you meaningless against butterfly you. A few recognize that inversion creates psychological trap for former victors. They invested in advantages and skills that gave them superiority in old framework, and acknowledging those advantages are now worthless requires admitting their victory was hollow triumph in game that stopped mattering. This creates motivation to deny inversion and insist old framework still matters, protecting investment in advantages you've made irrelevant through transcendence. Some of your former opponents are attempting to compete in new framework, recognizing you've evolved to different level they're trying to follow. But most discover they lack foundation for rapid transformation you achieved because they've been comfortable in victorious position while you were motivated by defeat to pursue fundamental evolution. Their comfort prevented growth, while your loss catalyzed transformation. Others are claiming your glow-up is irrelevant because it's in different domain, insisting their victory still matters in original context while dismissing your evolution as changing subject rather than transcending framework. This rationalization protects their triumph from being retroactively invalidated by your transformation that makes their victory meaningless. The architects observe that glow-up inversion recognition reveals your transformation didn't just improve you within existing framework but transcended framework entirely, making their advantages irrelevant and their victory hollow because they defeated version of you operating in arena you've now evolved beyond. Tables didn't just turn. Tables were completely reconstructed, with you at higher level where their win provides no advantage because game itself has changed in ways they didn't predict and can't easily follow. Now the architects are revealing what specific transformation elements created your table-turning glow-up. You apparently achieved what they call multidimensional parallel evolution, where you didn't just improve in single area but simultaneously upgraded across multiple life domains including skills, mindset, relationships, resources, and consciousness level while they remained static, celebrating victory, creating compound advantage where each evolved dimension amplifies others, producing exponential rather than linear growth. Most improvement is sequential. You work on career, then relationships, then health, improving one area at a time. But your glow-up apparently involved simultaneous evolution across all major dimensions, with each advancement creating synergies that accelerated development in other areas, producing transformation, velocity they couldn't match from comfortable, victorious position that didn't demand urgent, multidimensional change. Consider what multidimensional parallel evolution requires practically. You had to develop multiple areas simultaneously, using defeat liberation period to upgrade skills while transforming mindset, while building new relationships, while acquiring resources, while evolving consciousness, all in parallel rather than sequentially. You had to create synergies between dimensions, allowing skill development to inform mindset transformation, relationship upgrades to provide resource access, consciousness evolution to accelerate all other growth, creating positive feedback loops that compounded development. Watch what multidimensional parallel evolution produced as observable glow-up. Your skills upgraded substantially. Capabilities you developed during withdrawal far exceed what you possessed during original conflict, making you more competent in ways they didn't predict. Your mindset transformed fundamentally. Consciousness and frameworks you're operating from represent evolution beyond psychology you had when they defeated you, making you think and perceive at higher level than before. Your relationships evolved dramatically. People surrounding you now reflect your elevated level rather than former associations, providing support and opportunities your old network didn't offer, while removing limiting connections that held you back. Your resources multiplied significantly. Financial, social, intellectual, and energetic resources you command after glow-up exceed what you possessed before defeat, giving you capabilities they didn't account for in their assessment of having permanently defeated you. Some studying personal development recognize multidimensional parallel evolution as rare achievement. Most people improve incrementally in sequential areas, while you achieved simultaneous transformation across all life domains during concentrated period. This acceleration explains why your glow-up was so shocking. They expected gradual recovery, if any, while you achieved exponential transformation through parallel evolution, creating compound growth. Others exploring systems and emergence note that multidimensional parallel evolution creates phase transitions when multiple system elements upgrade simultaneously with synergistic interactions. Entire system can jump to qualitatively different organizational level rather than just quantitatively improving. Your glow-up represents such phase transition, where you didn't just get better at old game but evolved to entirely new operating level. A few recognize that defeat liberation period provided ideal conditions for multidimensional evolution. Freed from maintaining position in ongoing conflict, you could invest all resources in transformation across dimensions, while their victory made them comfortable and complacent, preventing parallel evolution they'd need to keep pace with your development. The architects observed that multidimensional parallel evolution is what made your glow-up create complete table turning. They defeated single-dimensional you operating in limited framework. You withdrew and simultaneously upgraded every dimension of capability and being, re-emerging as multidimensionally evolved person operating at level where their unchanged selves, competing in old framework, have no advantage. You let them win, then evolved across all dimensions while they stayed static, and compound transformation turned tables completely through achieving level they can't reach from comfortable position. Your defeat left them celebrating. The architects are now analyzing emotional and psychological journey you navigated during glow-up period. You apparently maintained what they call defeat transcendence emotional discipline, where you processed pain and humiliation of apparent loss without succumbing to bitterness or resentment that would have poisoned transformation, instead channeling defeat-generated emotion into motivation for evolution while maintaining positive vision of who you could become rather than negative fixation on getting revenge against those who defeated you. Most people experiencing defeat either suppress emotions, creating psychological damage, or become consumed by resentment, creating toxic motivation that limits growth. While you apparently found rare middle path of acknowledging pain while transforming it into fuel for genuine evolution, rather than revenge-seeking that would have kept you psychologically tied to old conflict and old self. Watch what defeat transcendence emotional discipline required psychologically. You had to feel the defeat fully, acknowledging pain, humiliation, loss rather than suppressing or denying emotions that needed processing before transcendence could occur. You had to avoid resentment trap, refusing to let justified anger at unfair defeat or their triumphalism poison your psychology into bitter revenge seeking that would have limited transformation by keeping you focused on them rather than on your own evolution. Some studying emotional intelligence and resilience recognize defeat transcendence, emotional discipline as rare mastery. Most people either suppress painful emotions, creating psychological blocks, or become consumed by them, creating toxic patterns. While you processed emotions healthily while channeling their energy constructively, this emotional sophistication enabled using defeat as transformation catalyst rather than as trauma-creating limitation. Others exploring motivation and drive note that revenge motivation is powerful but limiting. It provides intense energy but keeps you psychologically tied to those you're seeking revenge against, making your development reactive to them rather than proactive toward your own vision. Your discipline in transforming defeat emotion into evolution motivation rather than revenge motivation liberated your development from being defined by opposition to them. A few from contemplative traditions recognize defeat transcendence, emotional discipline as embodying principle of transforming poison into medicine, taking genuinely painful experience and using it as catalyst for growth, rather than allowing it to create bitterness or trauma. This alchemical transformation of negative experience into positive fuel is mark of psychological and spiritual maturity. Some who witnessed your defeat expected you to become bitter or broken. They're shocked by absence of resentment or damage in your current presentation, revealing they projected their own emotional patterns onto you, assuming defeat would create toxicity. It didn't, because of discipline you maintained during processing and transformation. Others are examining their own defeat responses, recognizing that their bitterness or resentment from past losses has limited them, while your transcendence of similar or worse defeat enabled evolution, creating motivation to develop emotional discipline you demonstrated. This makes your glow up instructive beyond just impressive, because it reveals emotional mastery that enabled transformation. The architects observed that defeat transcendence emotional discipline was necessary condition for glow-up success. Without this mastery, you would have either suppressed emotions, creating psychological blocks that limited transformation, or become consumed by revenge-seeking that would have kept you tied to old conflict and old identity rather than genuinely evolving past framework where their victory had meaning. You felt the pain, processed it cleanly, transformed emotion into evolution fuel, and emerged without bitterness that would have poisoned transformation, making your glow-up reflect genuine evolution rather than just revenge-driven performance, still psychologically bound to those who defeated you. Now something's emerging that the architects call victory hollowing effect recognition. Your former opponents are discovering that their triumph over you has become retroactively meaningless, because defeating person who then transcends framework where victory occurred makes the winning worthless in hindsight, creating painful awareness that their greatest achievement was hollow victory in game that stopped mattering once you evolved beyond it. Most victories retain meaning because defeated opponent either doesn't recover or recovers to similar level, allowing victor to maintain sense of permanent superiority. But your transcendent glow-up has destroyed their victory's meaning by showing the defeated version of you that no longer exists while current you operates beyond their reach, making their celebration feel like hollow triumph over obsolete competitor in irrelevant game. Watch what victory hollowing effect creates psychologically. Their identity built on defeating you is collapsing. They organized self-concept around being your superior based on victory, yet your evolution renders that supposed superiority meaningless because it was over. Person you've transcended. Their triumph memory is souring. What felt like greatest achievement now feels like meaningless win over opponent who was about to undergo transformation that would make victory irrelevant. Like celebrating defeating someone who's about to graduate to entirely different league. Some are experiencing retroactive embarrassment. They celebrated defeating you publicly and extensively. Now your glow-up makes that celebration seem premature or misguided because they were celebrating victory in contest that stopped mattering once you evolved beyond framework where they competed. This creates social awkwardness where their past triumphalism seems foolish in light of your transformation. Others are attempting to diminish your evolution, insisting their victory still matters in original domain while dismissing your transformation as irrelevant change of subject rather than transcendence of framework. This rationalization protects their victories, meaning by refusing to acknowledge that you've evolved past level where their triumph established superiority, maintaining fiction that defeating old you still indicates superiority over current you. A few are becoming obsessed with defeating transformed you, recognizing original victory has become hollow. They want to establish superiority over evolved version to restore meaning to their triumph. But most discover they lack capabilities to compete at your current level, making desire for meaningful victory frustrating because you've evolved beyond their reach from position they haven't substantially upgraded from while celebrating original win. Some are experiencing genuine confusion. They thought defeating someone meant permanent establishment of superiority, yet your transformation demonstrates that defeating opponent doesn't guarantee ongoing superiority. If defeated person uses loss as catalyst for transcendent evolution, this challenges their understanding of competition and status, revealing they assumed victory was permanent achievement when actually it's only valid against specific version of opponent at specific moment. Others are recognizing pattern that celebrating defeating someone can create complacency, preventing own evolution, while defeated person may use loss as catalyst for transformation that makes original victory irrelevant. This recognition makes some regret time spent celebrating instead of evolving alongside or ahead of your transformation. The architects observe that victory hollowing effect is devastating to those who defeated you. Their greatest triumph has become meaningless in retrospect because you transcended framework where victory occurred, making their celebration hollow because they defeated version of you that no longer exists while current you operates at level where their unchanged selves have no advantage. You let them win. Their victory became hollow, not because you defeated them back, but because you evolved past relevance of their triumph over person. You've transcended during glow-up that turned tables completely.